Hello again, I am John Bob and welcome back to the channel for yet another Farming Simulator 17 map tour, and this is the one I think that a lot of people have been waiting for. Oakfield Farm from Oxygen David has finally been released on consoles, and it's very, very special. There's no denying that, but there is a caveat. This, for me, is a Marmite map. You're going to love it or you're going to hate it. And you'll see why as we progress around on our map tour. That's not to detract from the work that David has done. This is absolutely stunning. By far his best work. Hands down. This is the first map he's ever built that has been specifically just for Farming Simulator 17. All the maps that have come previously from Oxygen David have all been reworkings and kind of up-resing of older maps. This one he built from the ground up specifically just for Farming Simulator 17, and you can tell it's special, very, very special. But as I say, some people are gonna, this is a Marmite map. You're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, and you'll see why as we move around. In terms of file size, it's a big one, 612.5 megabytes. Now the PC version of this is even bigger, 750 odd megabytes. Massive, massive file size. A lot of additional scripting on the PC version compared to the console version, hence the increased file size. But it is, as I say, truly, truly stunning visually. Let's take in a closer look at this. So you start off inside your farmhouse, and for those of you that like to role play, this is going to be fantastic. You have a almost fully functioning house, complete with working lights. You can go upstairs, you can mess around in here into the bedroom slash bathroom. Through here, I believe there's a nugget in here actually. Yes, there we go. There are nuggets on the map. I have found quite a few of them, enough to at least pop the first 10, and I can kind of give you a good idea as to where to find them. We're going to ignore nuggets until towards the end of the map, as we always do. But as you can see, very, very nice inside here. Pretty good details for all these DVDs. They don't have to be quite as high res as that. I mean, obviously they are a little blurry, but you get the idea. We're going through here. You can see we have a nice little kitchen. You can go out the back door there as well if you want to. And then we have the main front door just here as well. So this is our starting farmhouse. It's a very nice little house on the inside, a little low res on the outside, but if it keeps the performance running smooth, I don't mind that quite so much. And well, as soon as you start moving around inside the home farm itself, you just it's stunning. It really is. The attention to detail around here in terms of the way it's put together and where everything is staggeringly good. So we have our little pickup truck just here, and we've got this kind of little walkway through here, and we've got all these little bits of some manure dotted all around the farm. These lovely little cow apples here. We've got some really nice sort of like little scenic storage areas here. You can see we've got a nice scenic storing of all of our different types of seed. Some nuggets, we've got some fertilizers in here, some potatoes, some liquid packs. We have in here another nugget, little shelves, little tool area, and a little workshop where someone is working on, I have absolutely no idea what kind of car this is, but we have this clapped out old banger in here that is kind of being restored. And then we also have working doors here and here as well. Really, really lovely little scenic addition. We're going to kind of make our way around this way though. Let me just quickly turn on the help box as well. There we go. I had it turned off because I was taking some screenshots earlier. We do have a fertilizer point just here. Now this is for your solid fertilizer. And then just here we have our liquid fertilizer points. We move around and we've got the first of our equipment, and we're starting with some pretty good sized equipment. We've got a Massey 8727. 270 brake horsepower Massey Ferguson there, very, very nice. And we also have the 7347, the smaller of the two Massey combines, but it's a good size starting combine. Again, we're so used to starting with very small tractors and very small combines, very small equipment. It's nice to have something a little bit bigger, and you kind of need it for this map because the fields are pretty big. And we also have some storage back here as well. As you can see, we have this huge, great big area. And I get the feeling this might be a sort of a a barn for storing crop of some kind in here. Just with all these vents everywhere, I do get the feeling that this is kind of somewhere that you would put crop in to dry out. Might be wrong on that, but please do feel free to correct me in the comments. You know, if you know if that's definitely this or that, you know, let me know, please. Very curious to know. Loop around the back here, and you can see this is where the other side of those little sheds are, where the car's being worked on. We have this big kind of open area here. This serves no, you know, physical purpose. It's not like a trigger, it's not like a BGA clamp or anything like that. This is just a large sort of flat area for you to store stuff in. You could dump some beets or potatoes on the ground here if you wanted to, I suppose, or you could just, you know, leave equipment kind of lying around in this area. You do have some tyres which you can mess about with, which is always nice. Then over here we have our sprayer, the Carouel, and it's very rare to ever see this given on a map. I think this might be the first one where we ever see this sprayer, you know, used as a default starting piece of equipment. This box here, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure that this is the spawn point for wool pallets, because we do have sheep and cows at this farm. And as I say, I'm pretty sure that is the wool spawn point just there. The sheep are kind of just over there behind us a little bit. Where are the sheep? Just over there. As we move around, you can see we have a nice little workshop just here. A little bit more storage. We have a weight. We have a small 2-meter plough. Over here we have the header on a trailer for our combine. And another weight. Moving around here, you can see we have some more equipment just over here. Actually, I'll open the gate just to show it can open. Again, look, manure and straw bits everywhere. This is a really feels like a lived-in farm that has been sort of running for a very long time. It's such a nice little touch. We have, you know, the AgriLiner trailer. This will give you about, I think, 21,000 litres of capacity storage. We have the New Holland roll belt round baler. Around here, this looks to me to be the manure pit for our cows. You see we have this kind of little sort of scenic trailer here. I don't think that actually does anything. We do have gates that you can operate. I just saw one pop up a moment ago. Oh, we have it there. This is the sheep and cow boxes over here. So this dialogue box here is for your cows. The actual trigger, as you can see, is a fair bit bigger than is marked on the ground. You know, it comes all the way back down to about here, whereas it's just marked at the gate itself. But this is where you load your cows into the into this big open field here. Very, very big field, as you can see. All of this area laid out for the cows. Really, really large space for them. And then this is kind of the barn itself for the cows. And again, it just feels really, really big and imposing and impressive. So look at the size of the thing. I get the feeling this is going to be where the food is dropped for the food trough. Now, I'm not sure which side it's going to be that you actually drop it in. There's no markings to kind of indicate. And normally, you know, we are used to seeing things like that. It's a little hard to tell without actually having a lot of product ready to go. But I get the feeling, you know, that this is obviously the food trough here for your TMR. There is a grass trough just here, as you can see. So you can load your grass in there, and somewhere, I'm not 100% certain, I've seen it before but I can't remember where. There it is. I'm thinking of something else. Here is the water trough. So this is where all your kind of troughs are for your animals, and you do have a sort of a barn sell point just here for bales. So this will be a sell point here. It's not a place to put feed in or straw. That's a place to sell. More working gates as well. Loads and loads of manure and straw all over the place. Oh, and there is a light switch for this cow shed at somewhere. I think it's the other end. Just run down here and take a look. There it is. And you see we do have full working lights on the inside here. It's a really, really pretty little barn, this. I do like this. So if we head back out on this side, again, you've got these kind of pens to separate out the animals. You can see we've got this, follow this around, this goes into kind of like the milking plant here. Now this obviously isn't operational for consoles. I don't know whether PC can use this at all in any way, shape or form, but again, you can see just the milk plant is actually in here in quite a lot of detail as well. Really is very, very special. Just how cool does this thing look? And again, we've got, you know, sort of gates here. We can't open these; they're kind of just permanently wedged for you to walk in and out. But yeah, very, very special feeling, this map. We do have a slurry pit just here as well, as you can see. And again, it has the automated door that we are so used to seeing now. Nice little storage bay over here. And then as we move around, obviously we've just come out of there a second ago. You can see we left the gate open. If we move around here, we've got a few little scenic props here. So we've got an old skip with some piles of rubbish, some tyres, and this big old sort of rusted out trailer no longer in operation. Although the tyres do look in surprisingly good nick for a rusted out old trailer. And then we have this big bunker here for you to make your silage at the farm. Really, really big. Really, really good to see that we have a nice, good sized one here by the cows. And the yard is kind of a little bit split level in some ways as we make our way back around. The other part of it is just over there. I have a water point just here as well, as you can see. It's not drinking water, it's for the animals. The animals can drink it, we can't. It'll kill us, but they're fine. As we move around here, this is obviously our silo. Now this is your sort of down pipe to retrieve, and then obviously you're tipping into this grate as well. This has 100,000 litres of storage and is one of 2 completely independent silos on the farm. The other one is at a secondary location, and we'll get there in a little while. And then we also have these storage areas over here. Let's just get these lights on. So we have these huge, great big roll doors that go up into the ceiling, as you can see. And then as we come inside here, these doors as well, yeah, you look at these and they look a little low res and you think, that's not a door that opens. It is. You've got to be careful because some of the details on this map, you just don't look like they're going to work, but they do. It's a really, you know, deceptive little map. And again, this is to help keep the frame rates down a little bit, and it works absolutely fine. More light switches here, as you can see. This one's actually turned on the exterior lights. And then there was another one of those buildings. Here we go. Just over here. Once again, we have these huge, great big roll doors that go up into the ceiling. Loads and loads of space in here. Absolutely massive area for storage. And again, this door will open as well, as you can see. As will this one here, obviously. More light switches, so you can control lights inside the buildings. I love this silo. This looks so cool. It really does. It's just a shame it only holds 100,000. We're so used to seeing silos that either hold like 100,000 or 1,000,000 and practically nothing in between. I think it'd be quite nice if we got a silo that, say, held 250,000 for the maps that have these large fields, just as a default starter. Here's our fuel point just here. This is the seed point just here. So those scenic stacks that you saw all the way over there right at the very beginning of the tour are just that, scenic stacks only. This is where you come to top your seeder up. And over here we have ourselves a rear mower, and the last of our equipment's over here as well. We also have a second bunker just here, look. So we actually have 2 at this farm. We have possibly a water point. I haven't tested that with a hose, so I couldn't tell you for definite. And then we have this really kind of intriguing little storage shed just here. It does have a working roll door on the end. It's quite a tight access, but you could put something in there. You could put maybe a trailer or some kind of in there, or maybe one of the Grimmer self-propelled potato harvesters might fit in there. I don't know. It looks quite narrow, but you do have that little storage building just there. And then in here we have the rest of our equipment. So we have ourselves a FS17, 165 horsepower Fent 700 series there, and then we also have the Horsch Pronto seeder as well. So a 9-meter seeder to get you started, which is good because you end up with quite a few big fields, and obviously you have the roll door here to gain access in and out of this building, like so. And then if you go down that way, that path there goes down to that gate, and then that gate, if we look at the map, goes all the way along and comes out alongside the sawmill. We're actually going to take a different route, and we'll see the sawmill in a little while. But that's where that path goes down to. It comes out alongside the sawmill. Right, there's just one last thing to show you, and that's the sheep. And I have to confess, I'm not 100% certain exactly where the sheep access points are. Oh, here it is. So this is the dialogue box for the sheep. Again, you can see the dialogue box extends way past the sort of little check mark on there. And you open up, and then inside here you have your water trough, and then also in here, just there it is the grass trough. So there's your sheep pen just there, and a huge great big field for your sheep to kind of roam around in. I mean, this farm is just fantastic the way it's laid out, but as I said, it's a Marmite map. You're going to love it or you're going to hate it. If you love sort of role-playing and you love British farms, you are going to absolutely love this map, because it is just so chock full of authentic sort of detail that makes it really feel lifelike. If you don't like British farms, you're going to hate this map, because it's just all of it from here on in is tight, twisty roads, very narrow access areas, and you know, it does, you know, really punish those of you that like to use the big wide equipment. In fact, actually, we're not going to do this in the truck. We're going to do this in the Massey, because it's too much of a it's too dangerous a road network to go bombing on at 70 miles an hour for starters. I'm not very good at driving in those things anyway. Plus, you get a little bit of a higher up view, and there's a lot of points where we're going to have to do this in first person, just because the trees lining either side, you just aren't going to get a real feel for the map. But if we just zoom out a little bit, then you can see what I mean about the trees getting in the way. We try and get those scenic shots. Let me jump on top of the tractor. I mean, look at this view. You can just see all the fields rolling out across there. It is truly stunning as a visual experience, this map. There's no other way to describe it. You know, it's just a feast for your eyes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head down here. We're going to take a quick look at our starting field number 13. We start with 4 fields, fields 9, 10, 13 and 34. 34 is a bit out of the way, as you can see, but we do have that one as well. And look at the size of this field here. Really big size field. And again, look at that view. You can see all the fields all the way sort of across there, with the sun rising in the distance. It truly is a magical kind of experience at various different times of day on this farm. And with seasons, oh, this thing's going to look amazing. Absolutely amazing. So we'll open the gate up here. Now, in a lot of places there are some invisible walls designed to stop you from progressing any further. You get those when you get close to map edges, and also you do get them in just a few other places where, you know, you're not meant to go, so you do get these invisible barriers popping up. We'll see one coming up in just a moment. I mean, you can just see, again, look at the details of how good this thing looks from up here. It just looks incredible. It really does. And if we were to go this way, you can see here, actually, this is the living sort of border, and there's the invisible wall I was telling you about. You can't turn down there, but you can see the sort of living border that David has created with this kind of photo, this low-res photo kind of style boundaries with the hedges and everything. It kind of creates that 3D actual sort of off in the distance effect without actually being there, and it's very clever, and it works very well. But again, look, narrow country roads, tight turns. If you don't like this sort of thing, you're not going to like this map, because it's just, this is the map. This is it. It's full of details like this and features like this. So like I said, it's a Marmite map. You're going to love it or you're really going to hate it. It all depends on your preferred style of farming, but whichever way you feel, you can't help but admire just the beautifulness of this map. It's sheer, you know, sheer beauty is incredible. Now, can I get in without closing the gate again? Yes. So this is our first sell point. This is Hilltop Stores. So we have seed and fertilizer points just here, so we can top up. This is seed and solid fertilizer, and then your liquid fertilizer is just here. There is sort of a little road that goes around to the back of those sheds, but it doesn't go any further, so you go down there, you get stuck. You can see we've got an egg sell point just there. And then this is the sell point itself. This little grate just here. Nice and simple, nice and straightforward, but a very nice little business here. I do like the look of this, and it does feel functional. And I like the fact that we have the seed and fertilizer points here as well. Helps to make things a little bit, nicer for us. And as we head down this hill, you can see fields 9 and 10. These are our next two fields that we own. So, not a huge piece of land for 9 or 10, but when you consider the size of the other two fields we have plenty to kind of get us started. And again, look, this tight, twisty, downhill slope. There's some very steep hills on this map as well. Really do kind of need to be careful. And this map is truly stunning for in-cab driving as well. With these really tight hedges going everywhere. Just get a shot of this water underneath. Very pretty. Very, very pretty indeed. It's just, it's so hard to see sometimes when you've got these trees that are kind of hanging around on both sides. Sometimes you just need to kind of drive. And there again is another invisible wall, look. You can't go past this point. But it is a real joy to drive in first person. It just feels almost lifelike. It really does. Now again, if you go up there, you go around that first corner and then you hit an invisible wall on the second corner. And then up there, that is a little sort of footpath that goes all the way up and around and back down again. And kind of creates access to a little house that's the other side of this wall. There is the house. There's the trampoline in the front yard there. Again, it's hard to show you. There we go. Some of the details because of all the trees that kind of just get in your way, but very, very, very pretty. So again, this is where we're going to switch to first person as we drive down here. Just look at all the sort of level of detail that we see, and just all this foliage. It just tight country roads with stone cottages like this. This is the UK countryside, to a T. This is exactly what it's like, and it's just beautiful to experience like this. It really, really is. There is a forest up there. We're not going to have a look at that one, but we are going to end up checking out the other two. There are 3 forests on this map, and just the way the sun shines and the light comes through these sort of hills, these hedges and these trees and these bushes, it just feels really, really special. And eventually we make our way out to the main road just here. So we're going to hang a right past the bus stop, because just down here is the Sawmill, and also that side access road that takes us back to our main farm. So as we pull in here, if we were to follow here on the left, that road then goes all the way back up to the main farm where I pointed out, and then here is the Sawmill itself. So we'll open the gate up. Now we can kind of come out into third person again. Now it's opened out a little bit. So you can see we have a log sell point just here. Now we have a second sell box just here, and I think there is the wood chip sell point just there. Now I think this is a functioning sawmill on PC, and so I would imagine this is a place for pallets or planks, something along those lines, whatever you can make here in this sawmill. So again, we here on console, we do not have a functioning sawmill. Maybe in the future we'll get one. You never know. There's a nugget there. But for me, I think this is actually a functioning and working on PC, which is why we have this little extra cell box here for sheets and planks of wood that you can make here at the sawmill. Right, where next? Oh, and of course, how can we not mention the PDA is a real-life photo taken straight from an overhead shot. It's it's just little attentions to detail like this that just make this a wonderful experience. But again, it is one of those maps that you have to like British Farms to truly appreciate just how good this is. So we're going to head up this road here. We're going to go straight past Oakfield Glen Barn and the secondary farm, and we're going to go all the way up to the top and we're going to go up to that nest of sell points and features that you can see up at the very top left near the forest, and then we'll check out the animal dealership. Then we'll check out Oakfield Glen Barn on the way back. We'll quickly drive along the road over and check out field 34, which is our other starting field. Then we're going to cut through one of the fields slightly and come out down on the secondary road by that forest in the bottom right corner. So this is the farm that we'll be checking out in just a moment. You see we've got these real road signs here that mirror the roads of, or mirror the signs that we see on UK roads. Very, very realistic. Again, it's kind of hard to see some of the details because they're all hiding behind these trees and you just can't see through them, but it is a very, very beautiful map. So as we crash into a signpost, we're going to drive down through here, and we've got a nice little sort of little built-up populated area over here. So again, I'm going to switch back into first person because there's so much stuff hanging around you can't really see very clearly from a distance. This is Seven Springs. This is nothing more than an egg sell point, but this is probably the most beautiful egg sell point I've ever seen. It's just absolutely fantastic. It's a cracking little building with the recycling and the skips, a nugget. You sell your eggs. I mean, just a really, really nice building here. It does also service access to a couple of fields, as you can see just down here as well. So you've got access to this grass field down here. And obviously you've got this car park because it is like a functioning business with a little shed, some little beer barrels there. This is, you know, obviously there's a pub inside this building somewhere as well. And we make our way out. Stop looking at Giants FM. We've got a little over the side here. We've got a little sort of parking lay-by for travellers to kind of park up and have somewhere to rest. It's a little rest stop essentially, just somewhere for you to pull up and park. I'm so used to seeing these on motorways and A roads in the UK countryside. It's been a while since I've seen one like this, but it's a nice little addition that I wasn't expecting to see. And then just here is our dealership. So again, we can come out into third person here, and here we go. This is where all of our equipment spawns. Now our equipment doesn't reset here. Our equipment does actually reset back to the farm by that big BGA silo that we saw right next to the cows. That's the reset point for your equipment. But obviously anything you purchase is going to spawn here. And we have this sort of checkbox here. This is where we can amend our vehicles, return leased equipment, so on and so forth. We do have this nice little scenic sort of area here, but you can't get in there. It has got an invisible wall, so it's just a visual sort of little treat for you. You can't interact with it in any way, which is a little bit of a shame, but I can understand that. And then across the street, whoops, quickly nip in, we have Willowbrook Stores, agricultural supplies. So as we come into here, we have a fuel point just here, and then on the other side we have seed, liquid and solid fertilizer top-up points just there. We have the sell point for Willowbrook Stores just here, this big grate. I'm going to drive through, tip your grain into there. And then just here, this is the spinnery. So this is where you sell your wool, and this really is a very busy, populated little spinnery here. I like this, with the little pallet trucks here for the pallets of wool, and obviously the forklift there. And then you've got your silos around the back of the tip point here for your grain sell point. This is really nice to see. Another nugget just lurking away there. And then more silos on this side as well. It's a really, really nice little sell point, this. And there's another nugget there lurking on that little white porter cabin just there. And we even have a little bit of storage space as well. Look, a little canopied area for us to put some equipment in. And then the other side of the fence, this is our BGA. So we drive in here, and we have a weighbridge just here, as you can see. And we have just the one bunker here. No rows of bunkers, just this one. It's a little bit wider, I think, than we're used to seeing on some of the BGAs. Yeah, not a huge BGA, you know, just that one single bunker there. And then obviously we have the usual suspects. We have the digestate tank just here. We have the shredder just there for selling, and you can also sell. We take a look at the sell point and go to the BGA. You can also sell slurry and manure here as well. And there we go. Not a huge BGA, but it does everything it needs to, and laid out in a very nice kind of custom way. I do like that. Right, now if we continue up here, we're going to come to the dealership for animals. But before we get there, we're going to just take a little side tour up here to this kind of scenic attraction, I suppose is the right way to put it. Now we have this signpost just here. If we go left, we can go up the path there to Kilchurn Castle, and if we go right, we go up to Lavender Forest. We're going to attack the forest first, and then we're going to cut across the top and then pay a trip to the castle. Now, again, you can see very steep hills. It's a definite kind of struggle for some of our equipment to get up here. We're doing 21 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour in a tractor that has 270 horsepower and is not pulling anything. So you can see it could be a struggle to get some of the stuff up and down that hill. But here we go, this is the forest. So we have all these trees here that we can work with. We have this sort of stone path that kind of loops its way around throughout the forest here. You can see we've got a few scenic supplies of wood and logs and planks just kind of stacked up in places, and then an access point just there for a grass field as well. And we're going to loop this back around and head back along the top of the next grass field to the castle itself. There we go. And this is where it kind of goes a little bit off the map. So obviously I don't think this is here in real life. It might be. I don't think it is. I think this is just something that David decided he wanted to put in there. But we can actually drive in to the kind of this opening area, and there are 9 nuggets in this castle. So we'll collect those a little bit later. So you will need a nugget from another location, but there are 9 here. And it's a great way to kind of make a head start on this castle. So we'll come back and we'll do the nuggets and explore the castle in a moment, just to pop them. But yeah, here we go. This is the castle, Kilchurn Castle. Let's back our way out of here. So next stop is the animal dealership, which is just a little bit further down the road, as you can see. I'm going to try and avoid these people as best I can. They don't make it easy. But then we shouldn't really be driving a tractor at the middle of a pedestrian kind of zone like this. So we are kind of, you know, breaking the rules just a little bit, I suppose. Right, so again, steep hills, and hard to see because of the trees that line the roads, but this is exactly like it is in real life. Then you get a little break and a clearing, and you get these stunning views, as you can kind of see, and then they disappear behind the trees again. Truly is, you know, very, very representative of just what it's like to be here in the UK, and as it should be. This is based off a real world location. This isn't just something that's been kind of made up and created. This is a real life location that's been imported from Google Earth, and then just, you know, amended in places to add in the features that are necessary for, you know, Farming Simulator 17. So here is Frontier Livestock Market. Obviously Frontier, taken from the Frontier Design name of Oxygen David and Bullet Bill's modding team. We have our dialogue box just here, so we can purchase our animals directly or load them up onto a trailer. And it's a very small little area, as you can see. No animals in here, no sound effects, at least not on the console version. There may be something here on the PC version, I don't know. Don't have a PC, so I can't compare. But yeah, there is the animal dealership. Very small, but functions. Looks great with all the straw dotted around. It does actually look like a proper livestock market. Me personally, I know a lot of people don't like seeing static animals. I actually quite like to see static animals inside, you know, places like animal dealerships and certain buildings, just because it adds a little bit more life to parts of the map. You know, especially a dealership. You know, it makes the dealership feel like it's actually in operation if there's animals there, ready and waiting for you to purchase. That's just my personal preference though. I know a lot of people aren't big fans of static animals. And again, look at this view. It's just a great view. As I say that, we disappear behind the trees. And as you come out again, you can just see those rolling hills, and you can see our farm in the distance there, or a farm in the distance. It's not ours, it's the secondary farm, which is where we're headed next. Ooh, pretty brutal bump there. Traffic is a little fast on this map as well. It's 30 miles an hour, so you're not going to get stuck behind anyone who's dawdling. You know, you hit someone head on like I just did, you're going to feel it. You're going to get bounced around an awful lot. So make sure if you're transporting anything, you've got it strapped down, because it's going to go flying off the back of your trailer. That is for sure. Let's make our way around the roundabout. So up next is the second farm location. This is Oak Glen Farm, or Oakfield Glen Farm, depending on how you want to look at it. It's called Oakfield Glen in the sell point lists and on the PDA, as you can see, but it's actually called Oak Glen on the sign as we get in there. So it's taken a little bit of a name change somewhere along the way. And here we go. This is Oak Glen Farm. So this is the pigs. And this again is a cracking example of attention to detail. I'm going to do this on foot. Just feels really kind of realistic and worn down in places. You've got this lovely little storage area here for seed and fertilizers. It's just a, a visual thing. I don't think they actually function. Around here we do have liquid fertilizer tanks, as you can see. We have a slurry tank for our pigs, once again with the motorized door that we're so used to seeing. I love the way it's kind of cut into the hill a bit like this as well. We do have lights, as you can see, for the inside of our pigs. And I believe this is the straw point for the pigs. This little checkbox just here. Over here, this is the dialogue box, and again you can see it extends way past the little checkmark area. We do have a water trough and a feed trough right here, and of course you can open the gate and make your way in and have a look around in here as well. It's not a huge pig farm, as you can see, not overly massive. And I don't know if you have to manually muck out the pigs, but if you do, then obviously you have got access where you can get in and out if you need to. If we make our way up here, again just little scenic props, an old sort of fuel bowser just kind of over the side there. We do have a barn just here, so this is a barn sell point. This is where you can sell straw, hay, grass, bales, all sorts. We have a manure pit just up here, so if you do have to manually muck your pigs out, then obviously it's somewhere you can store it, but I get the feeling it'll just automatically fill up in there. Oh, and there is one other thing, we'll come back to that in a second. This is the secondary silo. So I did say there were two silos on the map. This is the other one. It's hidden underneath the grate just here. This is obviously where you drop your grain off, and then around the other side we make our way back around here again. This is your grain retrieval point, and this silo also holds 100,000 litres, so you get 200,000 litres storage total, but they are completely independent of each other, so you can't transfer. You can't try and put 150,000 litres in one of the silos and hope that it'll carry across, because it won't. They are completely separate, independent units with 100,000 litres capacity each. So there we go. And that's it. That's your secondary farm over here. You got everything you kind of need. I don't think this door opens, but we'll just double check. No, it doesn't. But yeah, there you go. That is your secondary farm. Now, where did I leave my tractor? There it is. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to head sort of down towards field 34. We'll pass an egg sell point on the way, and then we're going to cut down that little sort of hedgerow by field 5 so that we can then cut through and check out our final garden centre and Empire Supplies sell points over there. And again, I'm going to do this in first person because it's quite tight with these hedgerows, so you don't really get to see a lot of scenic stuff, but you do get a good feel of what it's like to just drive around on this map. And very narrow and tight look with this hedgerow on one side and then this barbed wire fence on the other side. So you do really have to think in advance about what sort of equipment you're going to use. So here we go, this is 6 Furlong Stables. Now this is just an Excel point on consoles. Now I have seen people posting pictures of them, you know, riding horses on PC. I don't know if that's completely a mod or if horses are actually included on the PC version. We just have essentially just an Excel point just here, but it's a very, very beautiful scenic Excel point. You know, with this this stables here. I know I said the other one was probably the most attractive sell point I'd seen before for eggs. I have to take it back. I think it's this stable. It's just beautiful, really, really nice. It's just a shame we don't have horses, but we are getting horses in Farming Sim 19, don't forget. So maybe if David, you know, converts this over, we'll actually have, you know, horses on console on the Farming Sim 19 version of Oakfield, and I'd be amazed if he doesn't convert this over. So we're going to continue driving along here. This is field 34 coming up. This is our final field that we own, and you can see it's quite a big field. Very big, sort of open space, as you can see. Nice, easy access points just here, but a very sort of twisty road to get up here, or very narrow in places. We're going to drive along the side of the field all the way along to, as I say, the edge of 36 and field 5. Then we're going to cut through up there, make our way down. Again, we've got another one of these tight barbed wire fences along here. If we look out the back window, again, we've just got this great little view, look. All these fields off in the distance. Nice little sort of cottage area just here. Completely scenic, but again, just looks great. And again, another really good scenic shot. You can see the forest that we're heading to, sort of coming into distance there. Those fir trees sticking up, quite distinctive there in their separation. And what I'm going to do is I need to just go a little bit further up. I'm going to cut through, because obviously you can't drive through the trees, but there is a little gap just here. The hedges themselves you can drive through. So we're going to use this little side area of this field like this, and we're going to cut down here. And what I want to do is I want to show you the new plow texture. I might be able to do it just here. Look at this. Something else as well. Again, it's just a photo, and you can see it kind of distorts a little bit depending on where you're positioned to try and give you that kind of 3D kind of feel. But David has created a brand new plow texture, and it just looks great. I mean, it's still 2D and still flat as anything, as is the Giants version, but you really do get this sense of ground that has been broken up. That's such a nice little touch. I really, really do like and appreciate the effort gone into just changing the texture of the plow. It's just a silly little thing, but it really does make a big difference when you can see that in bulk. And I'm hoping we'll be able to in a moment. Then you can see just how much of a difference it actually makes. And as we drive up here, we've got this kind of little scenic area up here as well, and then obviously invisible walls up there as well. Very nice little area. Again, just a few houses and buildings kind of thrown together. It's very much how it feels, you know, living out in the countryside over here. You can see all these little houses. Again, I'm going to go back into first person view as we drive down here, because these big trees and hedges along here make it very hard to see anything. But if we just pull in here just for a second, just so you can really kind of appreciate just how pretty this map looks. Absolutely stunning. And the great thing about the traffic as well is that it sticks to the main roads. It doesn't come up these little side roads here, so you'll never have to worry about crashing into anyone or anything. And there you can see another little driveway for another house. Same here as well. I can see why so many people have raved about this on PC. It is just one of those maps that feels incredibly special. And here we go. This is the final sell point, Empire Stores. So as we drive in here, you can see we've got our sell box for our grains just here. So we drive over that. Then we have a sell box for manure. Now, interestingly, I didn't see a sell point anywhere for fertilizer, unless you see we've got these top-up points just here. There's no slurry cell point, but you can get liquid, solid and seed fertilizing just there, so you have got nice little topper points there. And then just the other side here, this is the second of the 3 forests, Enchanted Woodland. So you can obviously go off in there, same as before. You've got the pathway that runs through the kind of the area, and you can go in and you can deforest that area to your heart's content. And that's pretty much it. You know, I mean, that's all there is to see in terms of sell points and locations. But a map tool is very hard with a map like this to really do it justice, because it is such a pretty map, and it's just a visual experience that doesn't quite translate when you do a video like this and stick it on YouTube, because you're going to get compression. So I'm recording this on my PS4 in 1080p on my PS4 Pro. Standard PS4 will record in 720. This is 1080, but then it gets compressed by the PS4 a little bit as it gets processed, and then it gets uploaded to YouTube, and then YouTube compress it a little bit more, so you never truly get, you know, on YouTube a truly representative experience of actually being there first person and experiencing it yourself. You can get close, but you can't quite replicate just how good it can look on your screen, and all those little details, sometimes they get lost in dodgy bit rates. You really do kind of need to, even if you have no intention of playing this map, I do recommend that you download it and experience the beauty of the map, if nothing else, just to see what is possible. It is a truly stunning, you know, thing to behold. And here we go, you can see what I mean about these ploughed textures here in more detail. This is why I came this way as well, because I knew this field had this plough texture, and I wanted to give you this kind of good look of just what it looks like on a whole field. And it looks great, it really does. Absolutely fantastic. And this is an area where Giants are definitely going to have to improve in Farming Sim 19, is their ground textures, because this looks brilliant, you know, and it looks so far and away better than what we currently have. It really is, you know, a massive improvement to see all the ground kind of broken up. And yes, it's still only 2D, but I mean, just look at it. Look how good this looks. And we really should be seeing that, you know, in the base game. But yeah, that's assuming that we stick with 2D textures. It would be really great if we got 3D textures, but that's a topic for another day. Right, so the only thing that's kind of left to do now is show you the nuggets. So I'm going to drive over to the castle, and we're going to go grab the nuggets in the castle, and from there we'll get the rest of them pop up on screen, and we'll see where we go. So here we are then, back in field 26, back to the castle, so we can do the nuggets. Now remember, we did collect one right at the very beginning, so we need 9 more. There's the first one. The next one is just here. They're really easy to find in here as well. You don't have to look very hard. You know, most of them stand out. There is one that's a little trickier, in the sense that it's not right there on the floor ready and waiting for you, but they're all really easy to find. I see the next one is there in that little alcove. We've got another one just here, look. And if we go up here, we have 2 more nuggets waiting up here. And there's the last one just down there. And there we go. 9 nuggets inside the castle. There's at least 3 at the main farm itself. So it's really easy to find the nuggets. Really easy indeed, and you can see where they're all kind of clumped. Let's actually go to the main map, so you can see there's a whole huge great big clump of nuggets all the way around here. Again, you know, around our main farm there's a whole load of nuggets in this sort of area. Around here, again around here, a few here at Hilltop Stores, as you saw. There's a couple at the Sawmill as well. Quite a few nuggets at the second farm, at Oakfield Farm itself. A whole little cluster just over here next to field 34 and either side of it as well. And then you've got one kind of nugget that kind of lurks over here on its own near the animal dealership, inside the kind of the big tree little area that sits in field 11. You might be able to see it actually. Where are we? Let's get outside the castle. I've got to find my way out of here now. lost inside the castle. There we go. So you'll have seen it in the distance. You'll have seen this big sort of blob in the middle of the field from a distance. But field 11, if we just cut over and cut through the fence over here. You can actually see there is a big sort of island of trees in there, and it's in the grass, sort of this side of the trees, and that is where that one nugget is. But again, just while we're up here, just take a look at this view. A really, really special kind of view. It really does, you know, look amazing. And you can see there's another island in that field there. There's another wheat field somewhere over there that has an island as well. You can just see it there, look. Just lurking in the distance. So it's a cracking map, and as I say, even if you have no intention of playing it, please do download it just to experience it. Spend some time exploring and wandering around and driving around, both third person and first person. It's impossible for me to do this map the justice it truly deserves, but it is absolutely stunning. And as I say, some of you are going to absolutely love this map, some of you are going to absolutely hate it. There is no way, shape or form around that. This is very much a UK farm. You know, tight roads, twisty roads, access is quite tight in places, very confined yards with not a large amount of space to move around in, but a very, very beautiful farming experience. And it does need to be seen to be, you know, fully appreciated. So, as I say, even if you have no intention of playing on the map, I do still highly recommend download it and just spend some time exploring. And then if you don't want to play it, you don't have to play it, but you need to experience it because it is truly, truly stunning. That's it from me. I am Jim Bob. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with another map tour very soon.